Hi, my name is Caitlyn, and I'm going to be talking about the positive benefits of online education. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics of the 3.1 million people ages 16 to 24 who graduated from high school in 2016, about 2.2 million, or about 70%, were enrolled in college that fall. Education has become one of the fastest growing businesses in recent years. It seems like there's a new commercial every week for a new online university. Online education has become popular and more accessible in today's fast-paced society. As online learning continues to evolve, students will be presented with even more options. Through advancements in technology like virtual and augmented reality, students have more choices and create a richer, more immersive learning experience compared to those who have a more traditional hands-on education. This is why students who utilize interactive online learning have more advantages compared to students who participate in face-to-face education. I'm going to show you this by first explaining how students often discover the benefits of the flexibility online learning affords. Second, I will explain how classes delivered online may be more conducive to any student's personal learning style, and that way they can learn at their own pace. And lastly, I will be explaining how students have the same choices of programs and courses to choose from compared to students who attend face-to-face classes. So I will first start with my first point, which explains how students who take online classes can have a more flexible schedule. According to federal data taken in 2014, about 5.2 million college students have taken one or more online classes, and that number continues to grow each year. Of that 5.2 million, about 71% believe that virtual learning provides increased flexibility to take classes. Online education gives students the opportunity to plan more time around the rest of their day to study instead of the other way around. Students can learn and work at their own convenience, and all of these benefits help students balance work and commitments with their education. One of the greatest benefits of getting an online degree is that you can work full-time and manage to get your degree in your off hours. If you work non-traditional hours, you don't have to lose sleep or arrange for childcare if you have a child, or waste time commuting to physical classrooms. Now that you understand the benefits to having a more flexible schedule, I will move on to my second point, which is students who take online courses can learn at their own pace to fit their conductive learning style. We hear a lot about this need for students to learn at their own pace. This means, like, instead of sitting in rows of desks with teachers delivering the same message to all students, students are able to develop skills and explore knowledge whenever and wherever is best for them. This approach was first introduced in the 1960s and has experienced a resurgence decades later around the country as schools have pushed back on time schedules for learning. In the fall of 1964, the University of Brazil created a new introductory course in psychology, which offered a strange new feature. Students would have to proceed at their own pace in the class. The course was divided into parts by the professor, and each student had to complete each part and had to master it before they were able to proceed to the next unit. At the end of the course, the professor then had a final that was worth 25% of their grade, and all of the students did exceptionally well in the course. Despite this experiment going so well and having such positive results, many face-to-face college courses are not able to follow the same approach because of the time restriction that is given to professors and because each student in the classroom learns differently than the other. In online courses, the pressure to keep up with other students in a face-to-face environment is removed. You might knock out some courses in a fast time because you understand the material, or you may need extra time in order to understand the abstract concepts that are given to you. The point is, you are able to control your own progress through any online course that you take. Now that you understand the benefits of students learning at their own pace through online education, I will now explain my last point, which is that students have the same programs and courses that are given to them if they were to take online classes. This means that no matter if you're studying nursing or neuroscience, that there is a program for you. Students can earn every academic degree online, from a career certificate to a doctorate. And more programs are being added to each university every day. There truly is an option for almost everybody. In conclusion, students who take online courses have more effective advantages compared to students who engage in traditional methods of education because of the flexibility in their schedules, the more personal learning style, and because universities offer the same, if not more, courses and programs online. All these points explain and prove how online learning has the potential to revolutionize higher education. Thank you.
You can sit down. I'm going to give you comments, but you don't. If you stand up there, it's like you're a target, and I'm shooting them at you, and I don't like that. So, hang on just a second, though.
The topic. It's a good place to start. Thank you.
All right, Caitlyn, the proposition is identified in the start of the speech, but it's not the first thing that you're talking about, which is not necessarily a bad point. But when you start talking about it, you say, today I'm going to be talking about the positive benefits of that. That makes it sound like it's an informative speech. When you do get to your proposition, it's a little buried, and I was able to pick it out because I'm listening for it, because I thought, oh, geez, I hope it's not that opening section. And you did have it, but I think you want to highlight it a little more clearly for people so they'll be able to pick out exactly what it is the point of the argument was. It comes right before a preview. I thought you had a very good preview of what the supporting material was going to be. You laid out for us what the secondary claims were going to be. I do think that they need to be phrased a little bit more as declarative sentences. A couple of them seem like they are expository kinds of things instead of declarations. So you want to make sure that you are, making an inference as you are presenting those particular points. You signposted those points in the body of the speech very clearly, so that was easy to follow. The proof on the individual points. On the first point, you had a survey of students who like the flexibility, and you had hypotheticals about students who could potentially work, or if they had children, manipulate around that. We don't have any practical examples that you cite here, and there doesn't seem to be any statistical evidence that shows success or failure of people in regard to those programs, or whether or not they're able to complete the program in the same amount of time, for instance, and I think that would be something that would be useful for you. The second point, when you say you learn at your own pace, you kind of give us a history lesson about this one interesting experiment back in the 1960s in Brazil, without, again, providing much information in the way of how it worked, but also online education has been around for a long time. We don't have to go back to 1960, but the last 20 years there's a lot. It seems like there's a missed opportunity here to show that it has been successful, that people are accomplishing their goals using online education, that they have developed the skills that are appropriate. There should be some way that we can measure this. At the moment, all I have is some promises about these kinds of things, the same kind of stuff that any salesperson would tell you, but I need some backup on these kinds of things, something that's going to demonstrate it. Everything on the second point is, except for the history lesson about Brazil, is all asserted. It's a hypothetical example, and that's not as strong proof as you would like to have. On the third point, this is, I think, really problematic, because you basically say, well, there are all these programs that you can do X, Y, and Z on. I have no source that says that's true. I have no examples that demonstrate it. There's no statistical information that indicates that people are accomplishing these things. And we don't have any way of comparing, especially if we went back to the flexibility issue or the learning at your own pace issue. We don't have any data on those points. So the third point sounds like the kind of pie in the sky things that I heard 20 years ago when people were first talking about this sort of thing. And we're 20 years in, and I'm saying, okay, so where's the proof that this is in fact working? So the structure is good. Your proposition is stated. I think it could be a little bit clearer. The evidence, I think, on the first point is okay. I think you could use more. The second and the third point, very skimpy, and you need some more information there. I think it's nicely presented. Also, you do a good job talking to the audience. All right, thank you.